Morning to all of you. I welcome you all to the history class. In our last class, we had covered up about the Swaraj in the plantation. How plantation workers of Assam too participated in the non-cooperation movement. We had known that, isn't it? According to the plantation workers, freedom meant to move freely in and out of the confined space. Why? Because they doesn't have any kind of freedom, and they were not allowed to leave tea gardens without the permission of British government, and it was because of Inland Emigration Act of 1859. So they doesn't have any kind of connection with the village from which they actually belongs to. When non-cooperation movement started, they disobeyed the authorities of British government and they left the plantation or the tea gardens and proceed towards their village. They believed that Gandhi Raj was coming and everyone would be given a piece of land in their native place. But they never reached their destination. Why? Because on the way they were blocked by a railway and steamer strike, and they were at last caught by the police and brutally beaten up. This was a local revolt, but this kind of revolt were often linked with non-cooperation movement. Why? Because this revolt, like the Godam Hill revolt or the revolt of plantation workers in Assam, took place in the same period of time or in the same era when Gandhi ji led non-cooperation movement. At last in 1922, Gandhi ji took back non-cooperation movement because of the Chauri Chaura incident. Today we will start the next topic, that is topic 3, towards civil disobedience. Now, in this particular session, we will know about the background of civil disobedience movement. Okay? Now, let's begin. At first, we have to know about non-cooperation movement. Non-cooperation movement was withdrawn by Mahatma Gandhi in February 1922. Why such a mass movement was withdrawn? The only reason behind it was that Mahatma Gandhi felt the movement was turning to be violent. And the perfect example of it was the Chauri Chaura incident. He also believed that the protesters or satyagrahis required a proper training before any kind of future mass agitation or struggle. Some leaders of Congress were tired of mass struggle or freedom struggle. They wanted to participate in elections to the provincial council that had been set up under the Government of India Act 1919. So there was a chaotic situation within the Congress party itself. Some people want to fought against the British and they want to start a new movement. Some leaders within the Congress want to participate in the upcoming election. They felt that it was important to oppose British policies within the council. There were certain arguments, certain discussions, and councils were not truly democratic. It was demonstrated like that. C.R. Das and Motilal Nehru formed Swaraj Party in that particular era only because they want to return to council politics. But people like Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose pressed to for more radical mass agitation. They wanted to start a new movement for full independence or freedom. Two facts during late 1920s. We all know because of the First World War, what is the scenario of the world? The whole world was suffering from economic downfall. The first was the effect of worldwide economic depression only. Agricultural price began to fall from 1926 and collapse after 1930. Demand for agricultural goods fell and exports declined. Peasants found it very much difficult to sell and harvest in order to pay revenue. By 1930, the whole situation was very much, you can say, worst, and the countryside was in turmoil. Now, about the new Tory government. The new Tory government in Britain constituted a statutory commission or a commission under Sir John Simon. Okay, the only motive to set up this commission was to look into the functions of constitutional system in India, and if required they will also work for changes. But the only problem behind this commission was that it did not have any kind of single Indian member. They were all comprises of British or the British people. So Indians were really not happy, or they were dissatisfied with this Simon Commission. When Simon, you can say, arrived in India in the year 1928, he was greeted with slogan like "Go back, Simon." All parties, including the Congress and the Muslim League, participated in the demonstration. Lord Irwin announced in the year October 1929, in order to gain support of the people, that there will be dominion status for Indians too. And a round table conference was also set up to discuss future constitutional, you can say, remedies. This did not satisfy the Congress leaders at all, because what Indians and the Congress leader required, they only needed freedom, a complete independence. The radicals within the Congress, led by Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose, became more assertive. The liberals and the moderates who were, you can say, proposing a constitutional system within the framework of British dominion gradually lost their influence. In December 1929, under the presidency of Jawaharlal Nehru, the Lahore Congress formalized the demand of Purna Swaraj. Purna Swaraj means full independence for India. It was declared that 26 January 1930 would be celebrated as Independence Day, when people were to take a pledge to struggle for complete independence. For these celebrations attracted very little attention, okay? Mahatma Gandhi had to find a way to relate this abstract idea of freedom to more concrete issue of everyday life. Mahatma Gandhi want support of each and every Indians. So, in this way, civil disobedience movement came into existence. How civil disobedience movement started, we will know in our next class. But before signing out, let's do a quick recap of what we had covered up in today's session. We had known about the background of civil disobedience movement. Mahatma Gandhi, in the year 1922, he decided to withdraw the non-cooperation movement. The only reason behind it was that the non-cooperation movement was turning to be violent, and the satyagrahis or protesters needed to be properly trained before they would participate in any kind of future struggle. Some leaders of Congress or within the Congress party want to participate in future election, which was held under the Government of India Act of 1919. They felt that it was important to oppose British policies, but within the councils. There were certain debates, discussions going on within the Congress party. In that era only, C.R. Das and Motilal Nehru formed the Swaraj party because they want to you can say return to the council politics. But people like Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose, they wanted complete independence. So they want to fight with the British and gain complete independence or freedom. They want to throw actually British out from India. There were two factors which affect the Indian scenario in 1920 or the late 1920s. First was the effect of worldwide economic depression. Agricultural price began to fall from 1926 and it collapsed after 1930. Demand for agricultural goods also fell down and exports also declined. Peasants found it difficult to sell or to do harvest in order to pay their revenue. By 1930, the situation of India was in complete turmoil. Or you can say it even the worst. Tory, okay, it was a new government, okay, that was Tory government in Britain. The, you can say, main objective of this government was to set up a commission under Sir John Simon. The commission was to look after the function of the constitutional system of India, and if required they also will do certain changes. But the only problem of this commission was that there was not any single Indian member in the Simon Commission, which was set up by the Tory government. They were all British people. It really hurt the sentiments of Indians. Indians were dissatisfied with this kind of commission. As a result, when Simon arrived in India in the year 1928, he was greeted with the slogan like "Go back, Simon." You can also see a picture of it. All parties, including the Congress and the Muslim League, participated in this demonstration. That is, "Go back, Simon." Lord Irwin, in order to gain the support of the Indians, he had, you can say, in the year 1929, said that there will be a round table conference and Indian will also get dominion status, okay? But Congress leaders were not satisfied with it because the Congress leaders only want complete independence. The radicals within the Congress, or Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose, became excessive because they wanted complete freedom, okay? The liberals and moderates who were proposing a constitutional system within the framework of British dominion gradually lost their influence. In December 1929, under the presidency of Jawaharlal Nehru, in the Lahore, you can say, Congress, in the Lahore session, Congress formalized the demand of Purna Swaraj. That means full independence. It was declared that from 1930, 26 January onwards, people will celebrate Independence Day and they will take a pledge to struggle for complete independence. But this celebration did not attract mass number of population, and Mahatma Gandhi was really worried of this particular scenario, and he wanted more and more support of the Indians, and at last the civil disobedience movement started. Now what is civil disobedience movement? We will cover up in our next class. Thank you all.